Hi friends, welcome to Coordinate, and today we want to specifically understand the strings as a data type in PHP. In definition, we can define the strings as simply a sequence of characters. For example, in the statement "Hi John," it is a string because it is a sequence of characters. Hi John. And we want now to understand the different types of functions that works on strings in PHP. A string, a sequence of characters. Now, from our previous session, we've understood that, of course, we can implement the strings if we understand that they should be in double quotes while we are assigning them to a respective, of course, variable where they need to be kept. And the very first function that we want to understand, of course you can tell I've implemented the basic syntax of PHP. The very basic function that we can implement when it comes to the strings is simply the function that returns the actual length for the characters that are making up the strings. Hence, let's implement the comment, and this function is called strlen, string length, as str is simply shortened for string and len for length, hence string length. This function is simply the function that allows us to work with the actual value that will be returned as the total length for the string. For example, if you wanted to find out the actual length for the value that is in the variable, of course, as a string, strings should be in between the double quotes, and of course, let's say hello coordinate. If we want now to understand the actual length of all these characters that are making up this string, which is hello coordinate, including the spaces that are in between the words, we can use the function string length, which is shortened strlen, and of course the parentheses. We terminate this statement with a semicolon, and to return now the actual length, this is how we work with this function. The function string length. A string is simply a sequence of characters. Now, how many characters are making up the string hello coordinate? If we want to find out, we can say, okay, strlen string length, open the parentheses. Now implement the actual variable that is holding on to the actual string, which is n, and definitely if we are now to terminate with a semicolon, then we are done creating the actual function. Now don't forget, we want to return the actual length, and if we want to return, or if we want to print out or to output certain comment, we precede the actual things that we want to be returned out with the key statement echo. Hence, when we say echo string length and the variable name in between the parentheses, we even terminate with a semicolon. Definitely, if we go on our browser, of course I'm using the browser which is Google Chrome. If I refresh, definitely you can tell that, oh, we have 14 characters that are making up the actual string, which is hello coordinate. And if we were to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, the space in between 12, 13, 14 up to t. Hence we have 14 total number of characters. And definitely this is how we work with the string length as simply a function when it comes to the strings as a certain type of the data types available in PHP. Don't worry if you don't know the reason why we are doing this, because in the coming sessions we'll understand the practical approach to string length as a function. For now, just understand that, okay, this is how we do and deal with a string length as a type of a function that is readily available in string data type in PHP. Another type of function that we can of course demonstrate on how it works in strings as a data type is a function which is called str, of course shortened for string, and then the underscore, the keyword word, and then an underscore, another keyword count, which of course returns the total number of words that are in the actual string that we've implemented or sent inside the variable that is keeping that string. Let's just implement a line break for it to print the next statement in a new line, and definitely we say br to do the line break. And let me just copy this statement because I know it will be used again as I represent the next function that can work with the strings. So the string word count, this is simply a function with the strings which returns the total number of words that are in the sequence of characters that we've implemented as one string, sending it to another variable. For example, we can count the total number of words that are in the string hello coordinate by using the same function. Hence we can say echo to output certain content on the browser for the user to see, for we to see if what we are doing is okay. And then we can say okay, echo str as simply the actual function, and then we say okay, word, and then an underscore again. Count is equal to the content, the thing that should be in between the parentheses is actually the actual variable that is holding on to our string. If we refresh the browser, definitely we can tell that okay, we have 3 words in the string hello coordinate. 1 hello, 2 code, and net is simply number 3. Hence this is another function that we can work with when it comes to the strings in PHP. Another last function that I want to implement today is the function that allows us to replace one word with another word as strings in PHP. So this is the last function that I will implement, though it's not the very last. We are implementing the last one because we just want to understand the basics as we proceed in our PHP sessions. So this function is called str replace as the actual name for the function, and of course open and close the parentheses. So this function replaces one word with another word. For example, if I implement a line break, you can tell that if I'm to print out now the content inside the variable n, you can tell that we print out what is called hello coordinate, and that's what we are printing out. But what if I want to replace code as the actual word inside the string hello coordinate with another word? This is where now we work with the string replace function. So the string replace function can work or can be implemented in this way. We can say okay, let's just implement a line break, and then we can say okay, echo, definitely echo, simply a statement that will print out something on the string, and then we can say okay, echo string replace as simply a function, then open the parentheses. So definitely now we need to implement the actual word that we want to replace with the word that we want to replace that word next to it. So in strings, we've said if we want to work with the strings, don't forget to open the double quotes, and the word that we want to replace is simply the keyword code. Hence definitely here we just want to entail the actual function that replace the word code. Now come out of the double quotes, replace and implement a comma, and then from there implement another double quote, and then we are saying okay, the word that should replace the keyword code is simply the word developers, and again from there implement another comma, and then now where, in which string do you want this to work out? I mean, yes, definitely you specified that the keyword code should be replaced with developers as a word in the string. Now in which variable should these things take place? Which variable is holding on to the actual string that needs to be replaced? So the actual variable is simply the variable n, as the variable that we've been working with from the start of this session. So here we are saying okay, I've implemented a string replace function, and the word code in the variable, of course n, which is holding on to the string hello coordinate, should be replaced with the keyword developers. And instead of printing out now on this line that will print out once I replace the actual browser, instead of printing out hello coordinate, we'll print out hello developers net. And if I refresh, definitely this is what is printed out, hello developers net. So we've replaced of course code with the keyword developers net. So finally, in summary, this is simply one of the longer videos that we have here on CodeNet. What have we discussed? We've said, okay, we can use a string length function if we want to denote the actual length and the total number of characters that are making up our string that we've inserted into a certain variable. And definitely strlen, the parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis embed the actual name for the variable that is holding on to the string. That will return now the actual total number of characters that are making up that string. Another function that we've implemented is simply a function that allows us to count the total number of words that are making up our string, and the actual syntax is str, of course, underscore word underscore count, then the name of the variable that is holding on to the string that we will count on how many number of words it is holding to. Another function, the last function, of course the one that looks cumbersome and of course complicated a bit, is simply a string replace function, and this function simply replaces one word with another word. Now in the actual function str replace, don't forget the word that we want to replace should come first in between the double quotes, a comma, and then the word that will replace the actual first word should be in between the double quotes because we are working with the strings, and then from there implement now a comma and the actual variable that is holding on to the string that contains the word that needs to be replaced. So this is the actual content that we have for today. Please don't forget to subscribe, and let's proceed on our next session, and don't forget you are on CodeNet.